Welcome everybody to Pipe Bob Sports Show. I'm one of your co-hosts tonight, Nelson Sirocco. With me is
Vinny the boss,
Lasanti, and we got Gypsy Engineering, and we got a special guest here tonight for all you fans out there. We're coming in strong. We got Vinny under the weather. I'm a little under the weather, and I called this person up to come on tonight, and he accepted. Thank God. He's a regular on the show. Please welcome Sam Passy. Sam, welcome to the house. What up, buddy?
No see, long time no talk.
I know. My fellow Buccaneer fan in crime is back. Yeah. WWE expert, as I call him, sports expert, fantasy expert, my man, Sam Passy. Good to have you on, buddy.
Pleasure.
Thank you very much,
It's a pleasure to be here, sir. It's a pleasure, even though via this satellite is good enough for me.
I see you chilling on the couch, relaxing. That's what it's all about in this cold weather in New York. I love it.
It's freezing out here, Nelly.
Exactly.
It's not even fair how cold it is.
And, you know, we usually start our first opening of the show just, you know, basic talk, experiences over the weekend or what's going on. I had a heartbreaker this weekend, Sam and Vin. I bet Phil Mickelson to win the tournament this weekend at Pebble Beach, yeah. Sam. The man was 16-1, had a nice hundo on him. And this motherfucker had the lead going into the last round. Yes, Sam, we can curse now on the show. And this guy had the lead on the last round. He shot +1 the last day. Missed a 6-foot putt to force a playoff to some fucking no-name guy that shot -7 on the day. Ripped my heart out. I go, Phil Mickelson, you fucking choke artist. When you have a bad beat, you have a bad beat. And the honeymoon from the Super Bowl and the Broncos is over because now I'm here today feeling like fucking shit. So I would like to say, in a fantasy or a betting aspect, Sam, do you have any like bad beat stories that you want to tell everybody, or good beat stories that you want to tell people? Same goes for Vinny as well. Any memories that stick with you?
I can tell you something about the Super Bowl that was a pretty bad beat. If you don't mind me sharing.
Yeah, of course, Sam.
So a friend of mine that I work with, I don't know if as you guys know, I'm in the sneaker business. I was very confident that Carolina was going to win, so confident that I bet one of my buddies a very, very prestigious pair of sneakers that Denver would lose and Carolina would win. Much to my chagrin, Carolina did lose, as we all know, and I ended up giving him a pair of shoes that I treasured very, very much, and it was a very bad beat for me and my feet.
Holy shit!
Wow, and I know how much you love your sneakers, Sam. I can only imagine what pair of sneakers they were.
I was, the Dornbecker 4s is a pair that I coveted very much, and now they do not belong to me anymore.
Wow.
Gypsy, you want to jump in? Because
that's a bad loss.
Yeah,
that's a pretty bad loss.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask what kind of sneakers were they, but you already said.
Holy shit, Sam. You were that confident.
I mean, I was whatever. I really didn't think that, Peyton was going to show up, and honestly, he didn't. The defense played amazing, and, the Panthers kind of shit the bed when it came down to it, in my opinion.
That's a bad beat, bro.
That's a real bad beat.
I mean, you're not losing money. You're losing personal items,
like
a valuable possession. I'm sorry to go there, Sam. I'm sorry to bring this up, but
let me go get the Kleenex now.
Shit, I'm sorry, but wow, you got some balls, Sam, and I love it. Even though you lost, that's a ballsy thing to do.
Yeah, it was. Luckily, the sneakers have a lot of friends, so it should be okay.
It's true.
That does.
Vin, what about you? You got any bad beat stories you want to share with the world?
Bad beats?
Come on, boss over there.
Yeah, I had one really bad beat at your house a few years ago.
Week 1?
I bet a football game. I was young. It was like a 5-team teaser. Remember in the Cincinnati
teaser.
And it was the 5th team, and it was the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yes, that's the game I'm talking about.
That was the game. Cincinnati Bengals versus the Denver Broncos. Game was won. Ball was thrown in the air. It was picked 6, and I lost. It was the worst loss ever.
Wait, wasn't there 4 seconds on the clock when this happened?
Yeah, and it was a heave in the air, and the wide receiver got smoked, and the intoser never ran back then. This time it gets ran back. They always just drop to the floor. This time they ran back. I lost.
Oh my God!
That was probably the worst loss of my life.
Yes, Sam. I want you to plug in your sneaker store real quick. Where are you working at, and what do you do exactly?
Well, Sneaker Lounge, 8 Mill Road, East Chester, New York. New York's #1 sneaker store for the families. It's G-rated in there. We also have one in Western New Jersey, 301 Center Avenue. Our newest store, which is called Heist, is where I currently reside. It's 339 Mamaroneck Avenue in White Plains. And that's more for the sneaker collectors. So, anyone, family or not, please come by and stop by. We'd be glad to help you out.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, the heist was really nice when I went there.
That's
Appreciate
great.
that, Vin. It was a pleasure having you.
It was nice.
Good. Good. There you go. And that's it. I
Anytime,
definitely want to
Sam.
go and check it out. I haven't been to the store yet, but I definitely want to go.
Oh, no, well, I've been to the one in Eastchester. Is absolutely beautiful. And the one in White Plains, the one you said the heist is even nicer. They have like a safe. You can walk into a safe. It's great.
Yeah,
Some
and it
life-size
works.
great.
vault. Very cool.
It's
And,
great.
you know, I've known Sam my whole life. I know a couple guys there as well. They're all great guys. I vouch for them any day of the week. Awesome guys, very personable. You know, they'll talk to you. You know, they'll see what you're looking for. 100%. Check it out, guys. 100%.
Better
check
than
it
your
out.
Foot Locker and Foot Action,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah, we don't talk about those stores.
We hate those
Exactly.
stores.
Okay. All right, we got our personal, you know, we got our feelings off our chest. Maybe it's the weather making us feel blue. But we had a very exciting weekend in the NBA world. Very exciting weekend.
yeah,
We had the
it
slam dunk
was.
contest, the three-point contest.
They did it up really nice.
Sam, did you check out the All-Star weekend by any chance?
I did happen to see the dunk contest. I was to be honest, I was pretty blown away.
That makes two of us because that was the best dunk contest I've seen in years. Since like Jason Richardson maybe.
Yeah.
Did you think Gordon was supposed to win over
I
Levine?
thought so.
I thought Gordon was better.
I thought
the
Gordon
quality of his dunks, the double underneath the legs was just mind-boggling.
When he
Incredible.
sat in midair, right?
Midair.
That was
Unbelievable.
insane.
It didn't come to my head that to
insane.
use a hoverboard during this thing, man.
It was
I want a hoverboard every year now.
It was great. Well, next year there'll be
It was
something different.
fantastic.
Next year there'll be something different out. But yeah, that was insane. How about the one where the guy was going on the hoverboard, spinning around in the circle? He timed it
Unbelievable.
perfect. Like that was incredible. I thought. I mean,
You know, I think Levine could take off from the free throw line. I don't know why he takes that extra half a step to go over and dunk
it's all
it
a
down,
timing
man.
thing.
Yeah?
It's all a timing thing.
I thought Gordon got robbed. I was pissed. I didn't bet Gordon. I didn't touch it.
I was
thought
pissed.
Levine
I
was
bet
gonna
him. I
run
was
away with
pissed
it.
he lost.
I think he's gonna have a big second half of the season, just regularly.
Oh yeah. Well, he didn't have a bad first half of the year, Gordon.
No, he
He
did.
was
You're right. I
actually
think
playing
he's-
pretty good.
Yeah, he was. And
He just
I think
has
he'll
to be
get
able
more
to
playing
shoot
time,
the ball.
The second half of the season.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Sam, who's your basketball team? Who's your favorite team?
I'll be honest with you, Nell. I really don't have one at this point in my career. I just enjoy the game.
You're a smart man.
Blame you. Who's your favorite player then? Who do you root for? Like, who's your guy?
My favorite player is Russell Westbrook.
Oh, I love
Yeah,
you,
of
Sam.
course.
I fucking love you. Why do
He
you
is
love
great.
Westbrook, Sam? Tell me why.
Plays so violent. He plays before. He's ferocious. He's the biggest. He's the biggest, littlest guy I've ever seen play the game. To be honest with you.
I'm so happy you said that because before we were coming up here, we were watching the Cleveland game, me and Vinny, and I was like, Vin, why can't we get Russell Westbrook to the Knicks, like, in 2 years?
Oh,
It'd be
God.
Westbrook and KP's team, not Westbrook and KD.
This city would be a buzz now.
I'd be the happiest person in the world if that ever happened.
I second that.
In the world.
I respect your judgment of players, Sam, even more than so by picking Westbrook because he's the real deal in the NBA. He's the real deal. And that being said, I want to say, what's your thoughts about Chris Paul? Are you fan or no fan?
CP3?
Yeah.
Man, I'm not a big fan of CP3.
I hate CP3.
I'm not a big fan of CP3. I respect his
Overrated.
game.
Overrated.
I respect his game, but I don't think he's all that.
Overrated. I'm looking at you, Gypsy.
Oh, no.
I
don't get it.
Sam
This
right
is
now.
gonna start the
because I
argument
don't
of
get it
arguments.
2 weeks ago, Gyps. Now Chris Paul sucks.
He'll never
He
win the
doesn't
big
shoot underneath the hoop.
He'll never win the big one.
He'll never win
Exactly.
the big one.
That he'll never do.
Maybe I haven't seen enough Chris Paul games, but he seems to be a pretty talented, humble dude. I don't know. I don't get your beef with him.
My twin brother goes, "How don't you like this guy? He's like
Yeah, I don't like him
37 and 12." Or
I can see
something.
why you don't love him, but I don't see why you don't like you hate him.
But you know what? I think I'm onto something. As Sam said, if you love Westbrook, you hate Chris Paul. It's just.
Is it
it's
like a
an
Dwight
intensity
Howard
thing.
type of hate? Is it like a Dwight Howard kind of hate?
It can be a Dwight.
No. Nothing is a Dwight Howard type of hate. Nothing.
I feel
is
you.
Dwight Howard.
Because I hate Dwight Howard.
Oh my God.
I feel that way about Phil Mickelson, though.
Wow.
I like him as a human being, but I hate him as a golfer.
Okay.
I almost root against him because he's such a mush.
He is.
He does
That's
it to
what I love.
himself. I was having this argument with someone. I don't mean to go back to golf, but I was having this argument with someone else who was defending him. I'm like, you've been playing this game for too fucking long to be fucking up like this.
Yeah.
You've just been doing this for too long. Stop.
He's Tin Cup.
Just stop.
That's who he is. He's Tin Cup.
Yeah.
And I love him for that. You hate him and you love him for that. But yeah, I'm a Westbrook guy. Vin, who's your guy? Favorite NBA player?
Favorite NBA player?
Don't give me Kristaps Porzingis.
No, I can't give you KP.
It's been 2 months.
My favorite, I mean, I'd have to side with you guys with Russell Westbrook because he gives 110% every time on the court. That man will give you 110% every time. He goes head down to the basket. If you need a basket, he'll make it. He will make it. He will get you triple-double. He's a triple-double candidate night in and night out. That's not many guys in the NBA. Was that him, Draymond Green, maybe Rajon Rondo?
Yeah.
But Rajon Rondo ain't even that good at it. But Russell Westbrook is top tier. Top tier. I'm all on him. All on him.
Good.
So fun to watch.
That's what it is, Sam. He's so fun. He's so explosive. He's exciting. He always, even on defense, he gives 110%.
Absolutely. You think he's going to break the rim when he
What
does
are you bringing up over there, Gypsy?
Oh, I'm not a stats. I'm not a
looking up stats here.
I'm not a stats guy.
Sam, our engineer's bringing up stats.
I see Danilo
Numbers
Gallinari
don't
on
mean
that list.
anything.
Come on. Come on.
This is ridiculous.
Numbers are irrelevant.
Get the stats off. But you brought up Draymond Green, Vin, which I'm happy you did. And I want to ask Sam, can the Golden State Warriors be beat, or this is a lost cause of a season? Just give them the trophy.
I got to tell you now, I cannot stand them.
Really?
Nauseous.
You guys hate all just people that are talented. I swear
They
to
make
God.
me nauseous. They're great ball players, but just to see them win again, I'd be pretty sick about it.
You're
I
a
hope they
Jordan
don't
guy,
win, but
yeah.
I don't know how they're not going to win. It's very, very hard.
It's very, very
He doesn't even have a horse in the race, and he doesn't want them in the race.
See, I think the Spurs could beat him in a series.
I would hope so.
I think the Thunder will give him a series as well.
Absolutely.
I do. Because I think come a best-of-7 series, Westbrook and Durant, Curry can't stop him.
So
No. Curry
Sam,
can't stop him.
If you saw little Curry, the girl,
Riley?
yeah, Riley, in a pool drowning, would you save her?
Oh, God.
I'm just
That's
saying.
horrible.
I tell her good riddance is what I would tell her now.
That's horrible.
I would pop her floaties with a pin
Yeah. I take a picture of it.
and leave the swimming pool.
So you're not a Curry fan?
I love Curry.
Okay.
I love Curry. Golden
But you
State.
hate his daughter.
No, I'm with the host. I'm with our guest Sam here, and I'm asking him, how deep does the hatred for Golden State go?
Gotcha.
Curry just he doesn't miss. It's not normal. It's
not normal.
Right.
That's what it is, Sam. It's not normal.
He even
miss?
ended the All-Star game with a 3-point half-court three-pointer.
Yeah, I know.
I know, I was sick.
At least he lost in the three-point
sick.
contest.
I know.
Yeah,
But he
to his
lost to a
teammate.
fucking teammate. Yeah, I know. Come on.
Ridiculous.
It is. It's ridiculous.
Oh,
I'm shocked Draymond Green didn't win the skills competition.
I know.
I'm shocked.
I was rooting for Cousins.
Shocked. So was I.
Rooting for Cousins.
Shocked.
Towns beat him. I was pissed.
Yeah, I know.
I
Towns
was
beat him.
absolutely pissed. But did you see all the rumors too that Okafor, that the Sixers? Were
So
trying to
many
trade
guys.
Okafor?
They were talking about Okafor, Al Horford, and Paul Millsap, and Jeff Teague from Atlanta. All these names, and nobody got traded.
Vin, you're a big NBA guy, as you know. Would have been a good price for Okafor if you wanted to move Okafor to the Sixers.
You know me. I mean, I think he's a head case and all, but he's still worth. He has to be worth a first and a player and a two, maybe even 2 first. I mean, he's a number
2 firsts
3.
even too much for Ja?
He's a number 3 overall pick. I mean, you
understand.
know what you're gonna get. Look at his number. I mean, I'm not a number guy, but even if you look at his numbers are there.
I'm with you.
His body of work is there. He's a big back-to-the-basket center who can score and grab rebounds. I mean,
He can't play D.
he can play D, but you can teach defense. You can't teach a skill set. Understand?
Yeah,
if somebody has a skill set, you can teach somebody defense. He's so tall. He's so stupid looking. You can teach a defense. The big, long arms. You can teach that. You know?
You can't teach Dwight Howard, I'll tell you that.
You can't.
Dwight Howard doesn't want to learn. That's the problem with Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard had all the opportunity in the world with Stan Van Gundy in fucking Orlando.
And Patrick
he
Ewing.
got Stan Van Gundy fired because he didn't like him. Like, come on. Like, that guy's a fucking baby. Now he wants to get traded from Houston. He wanted to get traded from Houston because him and Harden didn't get along.
Nah.
You think he's good enough to win on his own? No, they can't win together. The fuck are they going to win on their own? Where's he going to go? Philly? He's not going to win Philly.
I bet you $20, Vinny. I know exactly where he's going.
Where?
He's coming right to the Knicks.
Yeah, okay.
No.
Get the fuck out of here. I'll shoot him in the head.
That's where all players go.
I'll take the.
And I
life
love the Knicks. But
I'll take the life sentence for the Knicks franchise.
That's where all players go to
No,
die.
that guy. No. Get that fucking guy out of here. That guy's fucking
James Harden
horrible.
can't even win in a relationship with
That
a guy
guy's
that's
horrible.
He's not going to win.
They
on the
went
court.
into a meeting
What?
They went into a meeting a week ago. Harden, Howard, and the general manager, and they came out with, we can't play together.
I know.
We can't play together. We're like two fucking babies. Like, I don't understand. How can't you play together? Your games, Dwight Howard's not an outside player. How do their games conflict?
I'm not a big Dwight Howard fan because he started doing the Superman thing, and that was Shaq to me. Like, the whole and the cape. And, you got stupid at the dunk contest as well. Like, his big claim to fame is when he went to the finals with Orlando. It's like, oh, he's going to be, the next big thing. And
then he went to L.A.
championships. He did dick. Like,
he went to L.A. He should have stayed in L.A. Mm-hmm. He would have been worth a hell of a lot more money than he would have in Houston, win or lose. But he's just
a smart person.
No, we're not.
He's not a smart businessman. Like,
he's not a smart human being.
Yeah.
He's not a smart human being at the end of the day, if you think about it. He's really not.
Sam, he's not smart.
I think he's a selfish player, man. I think he's out for himself. I don't think he cares about the team unity, the idea of playing with other guys. I don't think I don't think he's ever going to win either. I really don't. I think he's a baby, big baby.
I don't understand how he could fight with James Harden, though. It's not like, you know what I'm saying? They're not the same player. Dwight Howard's back to the basket, and Harden shoots threes and penetrates to the basket. Mm-hmm. How can't you get along?
It's true.
He'll penetrate the hole, draw the defenders in, and get you an easy alley-oop or an easy layup.
A lot of people will penetrate the hole, then. Right?
Yeah.
right?
I don't know.
Sam.
I don't know.
Ranger fan, right? New York, what I'm wearing?
Knick fan?
No, New York Rangers, hockey.
Oh, of course. But big victory, just 4-2 over Toronto.
Huge victory.
We're watching that.
I was texting, let's go Rangers. We're switching gears for a bit. We're talking a little NBA. Sam, as we're heading to the playoffs very soon with our Rangers, what's your take with us? Do we have a shot to win it all?
We always have a shot now, but I think that the window is going to begin to close. I don't think they're a big enough team physically. I think they're very small. I mean, look, they got some great skilled players, and Lundqvist is obviously Lundqvist, but I think there's a lot. It's going to be a long road, and I just don't think they're built for it personally. I think they need to make a deal. Make a splash somewhere, get a little more offensive punch, and then maybe our chances will increase.
Is there a guy you think that could help us out, Sam?
I mean, I keep hearing
I fully
Patrick
agree with you, by the
Marleau.
way. I got nothing else there because you covered it.
I keep hearing Patrick Marleau's name. I mean, obviously, just for a one-year rental would be nice, but I think the guy that I would like to get that would be Dustin Byfuglien. That's another name that I hear could be circulating. I think he would be an excellent fit for our team, personally.
Great call.
It's good.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Ben, do you think the Rangers' window is closing for a championship?
Oh, yeah.
I think it's, we're on the last
closing.
step.
I mean, it's been closing, guys. I mean, 2 years now.
Yeah.
We made it there 2 years ago. Last year we were supposed to be there. We weren't there. I mean, Lundqvist is not getting any younger here, guys. He's not. These teams are all starting to percolate now. Pittsburgh's starting to play really good hockey. Really good hockey.
I think Washington's very scary.
Washington's really scary.
They are frightening.
Frightening. And then, God, if we play the Islanders in the playoffs, that's a tough matchup. Rivalry matchup,
Yeah.
So, the window is closing. All these teams around the Rangers are getting good.
I was worried about that last year with the Islanders. I thought we were going to see in the playoffs something was going to happen. And that being said, with this Ranger team, the window is closing, and we got Lundqvist. But, it's so hard to be on top for so long. And I feel when Zook went down, when we were on that Stanley Cup run, it really fucking killed us, man. I took that for granted, his injury.
So did I.
And I looked, when I watched this man play, I'm like, fuck, we needed him.
We did.
Really fucking
He's
needed
the best
him.
player on the team.
Yes, all around, yes. He probably
Really
is the best player on the team.
He is. He's absolutely the best player.
He does everything.
And
offense, defense.
Selfishly, myself, I took him for granted.
So did I.
We're going to be okay. And I went, this guy's a difference maker. He's the best hands, everything.
Oh, yeah.
He's
the fastest.
It's sickening.
He's gritty.
It's sickening when you're so close to win a trophy and a guy like Zook went down that we didn't get it done. And now, we're not looking at it as we're supposed to be. Yeah, we're probably a top 4 team easily in the East on the echelon when it comes playoff time. But we used to be number 1. We'll see you in the Eastern Conference Finals. We're going to go to the Stanley Cup. Now it's like we're going to start sweating the second round again.
Yeah.
And we might lose in the second round.
We could.
It's very, very scary. Very, very scary. And Ovechkin's gunning to get his name on the trophy, man.
Yeah.
He's gunning to get it done.
This man wants it.
Ugh.
He wants it. They're on fire this year.
Yeah, and you got Chicago playing good. What about the other side? Who you like from the other side, Sam?
I like Chicago.
You do like Chicago?
Saints playing like a man possessed. They're so deep defensively. They're great. Crawford's had a great season. I think they're going to win the West without a shadow of a doubt.
They're going back.
Yeah, I side with Sam.
Go back.
I side, yeah.
Go back to back.
Definitely.
Awesome.
They are the Drake of the NHL.
Hell yeah. You know, this is a good topic I want to have actually with Sam because you know we both do fantasy, and we both like different styles of fantasy. So when we do fantasy baseball, I like head-to-head. I'm a big head-to-head fantasy guy. Like, obviously, football's head-to-head, but baseball head-to-head is week-to-week. Like, we do a max start. But
you do points or categories?
We do points.
Okay,
we do points. We don't do categories. But Sam, he's a big rotisserie guy. Like,
Definitely.
let the season play out.
Okay.
And go from there. But Sam, why should you let people, fantasy listeners that that listen to our show, why should they do rotisserie over head-to-head? I want to hear your point of view, why it's better.
Gotcha. Okay, so first of all, the fact that this strictly falls on baseball the most because it's such a long season. I mean, obviously other sports, you got 82 games, whatever. This is 162 games. It's a marathon. Okay. I feel like with rotisserie that the best team will always win. The best team from the season's beginning to the season's end. In head-to-head, you can have a great, you have a great regular season. You'll finish first. You got, let's say your best pitcher only has one start the first week of the playoffs. You can lose, and I don't think that's fair at all. I really don't. I think that in rotisserie, like I said, the best team will always win, and it also takes a lot of managerial skills. Where there's categories in rotisserie, if there's more trades, there's more league activity. It's more time consuming, and it's more, I know it's more taxing on a manager because they have to be on it, daily, every 5 seconds, checking Roto World. But that, when it comes to baseball, that's what I love the most. And I feel like that's, where the best team will always win.
See, my problem with rotisserie is this, Sam. It's like, say you're in sixth place out of an 8-man league, right? You're in sixth place and it's July. Like, you got no shot to get in the money and go all the way up to first. It's like a fucking miracle.
You know what that means? No, that means that your team stinks and you deserve to have nothing.
But I want to be in sixth place in head-to-head. Like, all right, guys, let's win 4 in a row. Let's get into the playoffs.
I understand. I
hear you.
I understand what you're saying. I just feel like, look, if you're on top of it like you should be, and things, people pull away. I understand, and there's a lot of luck involved and injuries, of course. Look, if the team you got a team with no injuries, you're most likely going to finish really, at the top half of the league because if you have a guy on your team that gets hurt, one of your first couple round picks, you're pretty much in deep shit.
Yeah.
That's a great point, Sam. That's a great point. Because I was thinking about this because of a head-to-head league, and I was conflicted going to rotisserie as well, and maybe trying rotisserie league out there because it's a marathon, like Sam said. It's such a long season, and a body of work for a pitcher, especially if we have starting pitchers 5 and 6, should really matter over a long stretch of time. Like Kershaw will get rocked and go -4 for you one game. Is that -4 is going to cost you a fantasy ring because it happened round 1 of the playoffs and you got fucked because of one start?
It could.
Or you could only have him for one start and you're versing a guy that has Felix fucking Hernandez and he's pitching twice and maybe 3 times. Who knows?
There's your win. There's a difference.
Vinny, what was your take? What's your take on that? What would you rather do if you did fantasy baseball? Would you do?
Well, I usually
like head-to-head.
I usually prefer head-to-head, but after hearing what Sam had to say, I mean, I've done a rotisserie basketball league before. I wasn't too fond of it. I personally like the head-to-head basketball, but basketball again isn't as long as baseball. Baseball's so much longer. So I could see where Sam's coming from with the rotisserie because you really can get completely fucked, like you said. You have Kershaw. If I have Kershaw throwing once this week in a playoff matchup, and then somebody I'm facing has Felix pitching twice, I mean, I'm getting fucked.
Yeah,
I'm getting screwed.
You lost,
and that one match, and let's say that one Kershaw game, if he gets rocked and doesn't even get a win, then I'm really screwed. So I mean, at the end of the day, the rotisserie does seem a lot fairer for a baseball league.
I want to extend this because you do rotisserie. Say you're in the middle of the pack, or even if say you're in first place, where do you look? Like, is it runs? Is it at bats? Is it hits? Where do you look to get improvement of your team? What pitching and hitting categories? Like, say you're in 4th place and you're number 1 in home runs and you're like 3rd in like hits. Like, and you don't know, like, hey, I got a good team, but how do I improve? Like, you know what I mean?
You basically, what it comes down to is you got to try and gauge, like, let's say you draft a guy first couple rounds and he's supposed to be a lot better than what he is in the first half of the season. You would want to hold on to him and, say to yourself, he should have a second half spurt. Whereas, if you feel like a guy's not playing well and he's going to continue to play poorly, you try and get as much value as you can, depending on what category you need. If you need steals, if you need steals, you look for like a Billy Hamilton or a D. Gordon, something like that. You need runs, you look for a guy at the top of the lineup. It all depends. Usually when you draft you never really draft the perfect baseball team. It's really, really hard to do. So usually you're lacking in something, whether it's pitching or hitting. And when it comes down to, it could be saves, closers, maybe your guy loses the job. You need a closer. You know what I mean? There's just so many different ways, you can improve your team in rotisserie that, it makes it really, really fun. It's, especially, for, like I said, a long part of the season. So
Thanks, Sam.
It's a long year.
Thanks, Sam. It sounded like a simple question but I know, doing rotisserie a long time ago, I always found that as a problem. I wanted to ask you now.
No, can I just say one thing? You guys keep talking about rotisserie. I'm fucking hungry. Fucking want some chicken. Fuck you guys.
I was waiting for that.
Oh, my God. We got some
That was a good one, Jip.
That was great.
You got to get to KFC.
I can't.
Some Boston chicken shit.
Some chicken shit.
Your choice, whatever you want.
I love it. I love it. And Sam, thank you so much for giving me Carlos Carrasco. I was like, last year going into my draft, I go, Sam, you got any prospects for me? He's like, no, draft this guy, Carlos Carrasco. I go, Sam, who the fuck is this guy? He goes, no, he's amazing. I love him. I absolutely love him now. And if you click on his projections for this year, Sam, they got him going 16-1. They got him losing one game this year.
Who, from the Indians, Carrasco?
Yeah.
Carlos Carrasco?
They got a nice staff, the Indians. Salazar, Kluber, and Carrasco. Very, very nice 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Very, very formidable.
Oh, yeah, awesome. Awesome.
It really is.
So I think, let's see, we got 10:57. We got a couple more minutes before the break. Yeah, so we got 3 more minutes before the break. We talked about a little NBA. We were talking NHL. What else? What else is going on? We had Duke versus UNC.
When we come back, we'll talk some college.
We'll come back. We'll talk some college. We got WWE with Sam. We'll get into it. I'll give Sam one question here real quick. Sam, we got Kevin Owens versus Ziggler in an IC match.
Yeah.
We're going to save you. I'm going to save you that. You know what? Did you check out the Big Show podcast with Austin after Raw last night?
Unfortunately, I did not see it yet. I heard it was very, very a little bit of controversy. I know the Big Show had said that they weren't using him very, very well, which to say on, even though it's kayfabe, even though he's like breaking character, it's still really, to say that is like kind of a big faux pas. But I think his time is up personally. That's between me and you.
I'm with you there. And I wanted to bring up. He said something very, very interesting in that interview with Stone Cold. He said people root for the guy with the belt. They don't go against him. They don't try to get the belt because the belt brings in more money. It brings in more money for the talent as well. Do you agree with that statement by the Big Show? He's saying that the belt, that the talent actually roots for the guys like John Cena to carry the belt in the right way.
I think it depends on the guy. I mean, personally, look, Cena. You like him or not, man, he is the straw that stirs the drink. He's just, without him, I feel like there's something missing. And I feel like with someone like him, a guy like him only comes around once every 10 to 15 years. As you can see, the roster right now, besides him, no one is really, really jumping out and, Vince always says taking the brass ring and running with it. Mm-hmm. I feel like, certain guys, they should be rooted for because they work really hard, especially Cena. He just got hurt. He's trying to come back before Mania, and he's done this over and over again, and he's so reliable, and he's had a long career, and I think, like I said, I think he's great for the company. He's a great ambassador for the company now.
Yeah, you don't realize what you got until it's gone.
Correct.
It's really true, and Cena, he's the Hulk Hogan of this generation, but the man is missed, and he's missed on TV. You could tell, and how you see how the impact he's left on this company when his time will come is really going to be missed as well.
Absolutely.
So we're going to take a break now. We got to come back. We got way more WWE talk to go with, Sam over here. And we'll talk some Duke UNC as well, college basketball with Vin. And we'll see you guys in a little bit.
Bulletproof has always been about identifying and taking advantage of every single thing that makes people perform better. When you drink it, you just don't care about food. No cravings, no hunger for 4 to 6 hours, and you feel a kind of mental clarity that you probably haven't felt in years.
Have you heard of Bulletproof coffee? I tried it today. I feel pretty good.
Are you a smoker and you need to quit, but you're discouraged 'cause it's harder than White Plains Vapors, located at 210 Mamaroneck Avenue in White Plains, New York. Visit our location and choose from a wide selection of exotic flavors.
Addicted to Ink, a proud sponsor of the Zaraza Entertainment Network, is Westchester's premier tattoo, piercing, and apparel destination, offering only the finest tattoo and piercing services as well as the best atmosphere you will find. Addicted to Ink is located conveniently at 38 Westchester Avenue in White Plains, New York, right across the street from the Westchester Mall. If you got the itch for more ink, like the Zaraza boys do, get your work done right. Visit www.addictedtoinktattoos.com for more information.
You're watching the Zaraza Entertainment Network on ZenLive.tv.
And we're back live, having a great time here on this beautiful Thursday night, freezing our asses off in New York. We got Sam in the house, talking sports. And, you know, we're going in to talk with Big Show and how Cena was missed, but after we're talking about departures due to injuries, we also have the arrival of AJ Styles, the one and only, the phenomenal one. I want to get to Sam. And my question to you, Sam, with AJ Styles is, how do you feel WWE is doing booking him so far, being not even a month yet into his WWE career?
I think that they're booking him well. You know, they're kind of taking things a little slow, a little bit with The Miz, a little bit with Jericho. I think Jericho's a really, really good opponent for him to start off with, especially a veteran like that. I think he's a good ring general in Jericho, and I think that he'll make sure that they put on a great match. I happen to think, unfortunately, though, for me personally, AJ Styles doesn't really do it for me. Any guy that's not homegrown and hasn't been, like, you know, in their farm system, I just don't have the connection with him. So while I enjoy, I think he's a great wrestler, I just, you know, the personality wise, I just don't feel the same as if I would with someone like, let's say, you know, like a Seth Rollins or a Dean Ambrose.
Oh man, you know, you bring up Seth Rollins. I totally agree with you said when it comes to putting him with Jericho. I mean, who else besides, you know, a WWE icon like Chris Jericho, an absolute architect in the ring like how Rollins is as well. I mean, Jericho is fantastic. This is great, but AJ Styles, yeah, you don't know too much about him. Being from outside WWE and not WWE homegrown, he kind of stayed away from the limelight, the Big Show. And I don't get what his entrance is, man. He comes out with his hands so far wide, and it's like, dude, this is not a TNA arena. It completely doesn't work for the man. You got to do something else. You got to get some smoke for the guy or something, man. I love the song.
Or something.
Is there something wrong with his entrance? I mean, we can't talk about his in-ring because it's so good, but his entrance sucks.
He's a bit cartoonish for me. I feel like he's just for the younger generation. That, you know, I'm an old, you know, we've been watching for so long now. We saw WWE, you know, in the early '90s, and that's kind of what it's going back to now. You know, and that's just, I guess we gotta, you know, as fans, we gotta roll with the punches and just hope that it turns back into a, you know, for a mature audience.
You're right. And that, you know, as long as, you know, it's being traded on the stock market, it's really not going to freaking happen.
It's not going to happen. Exactly.
It's really not. And, you know, they're catching heat, but sooner or later, these old guys that get us keep watching won't be around. I mean, for God's sakes, Triple H has the fucking belt, and I love it because I love Triple H.
That's right.
But, I mean, that's how bad things are. This guy has the belt because he's the only one that can put Roman Reigns over if you want to put, or Dean Ambrose over. He's the only one that can do it. The guy that retired, you know, full-time a long time ago. He comes once a year and he wrestles.
And he's a champion.
And he's the fucking champion.
That's great.
And Big Show said in his interview too, Sam, that why he goes, you know, face to heel, heel to face, because he's the only guy that really puts younger talent over. And he's really a guy that's a jobber that can sell when you need him to sell. It's true.
Absolutely.
It's absolutely true.
Big Show's been around for a long time. You know, I feel like, you know, like I said, he's peaked. And I just think that now he's, you know, he's just right off into the sunset. You know, like you said, there's a lot of injuries, and a lot of guys are, you know, maybe shouldn't be wrestling now are, you know, and I think Big Show's one of them. At least on you know, every single week you see him on, you know, SmackDown and Raw. It's just, you know, it's not 1995 anymore.
Not 1995 with Mark Henry either.
Oh yeah, well, I can't
see what happened on Monday to him.
You heard it, yeah. He went for the big ending, and looks like Mark Henry was the one with the big ending.
Big E lifted Mark Henry up. Mark Henry, strongest guy in the world, Olympic.
Yeah.
And he basically said while he was in there, "Please put me down." Legit, Big E dropped him he went down and he pinned him because he hurt his rib. I mean, this guy's been wrestling for 18 years. I mean, he can't move anymore in the ring. And I feel like Sam, we want Big Show to retire because we've watched you for over 15 plus years. Like we respect you. We don't want you to get hurt or die. Like, we see all these wrestlers dying.
That would be a bad thing.
Like, you can't move, bro.
He's so big.
You can't fucking wrestle anymore. You have to give it up. But
so
all these
There's
people
nothing
know.
he hasn't done that we haven't seen. That's the problem. He can't. There's nothing original. We've seen him do everything. You remember when he used to dress up as older wrestlers? He came out as Hogan. He did that. That was cute for a couple of weeks.
Yes.
Now it's over.
What's the issue with athletes and sports entertainers? That they can't hang it up. Because we're talking about this with Peyton Manning, too. Peyton Manning can't fucking move. And he's still playing. Peyton, you had 3 neck surgeries. 3 or 5. You can't play anymore, bro. You had to leave.
You got to call it quits, man.
Like, seriously.
It's time. That's it. I don't want to see you die on the football field.
In the basketball version, we see Juan Howard on the bench at the Heat when LeBron was playing. Juan Howard, like,
yeah, Juwan Howard. That guy's 400 years old. The other guy, what's his name?
You need to go.
Somebody else. Dwight
Juwan
Gooden.
Howard's still in the league?
What?
Juwan Howard's still in the
No,
league?
I think
now
he's
he's the
the front office
coach.
guy now.
But Dwight Gooden's still in the league. Dwight Gooden was like drafted in like the 90s.
Wait, Dwight Gooden is the pitcher.
Drew Gooden.
Drew Gooden.
Oh, Drew Gooden. Oh,
I thought you said Dwight. You were saying
Dwight Gooden.
You were saying the coke sniffer.
I'm all fucked up.
You
Drew
were,
Gooden,
bro.
and he shoots threes now.
I know.
He plays for the Wizards. I've never seen this before in my life. He's like 40 years old and he shoots threes.
Oh my God, too much. And I want to jump on to the women's side now with Sam. And what do you think about this whole Divas Revolution? What's your take on what's going on?
I think they're a lot better. I think they're a lot better than they used to be. I think Charlotte's a very good heel. She cut a promo a couple of nights ago that I thought was very, very good on oh God, who the hell was it? I think it was on Bree.
It was on Bree.
She went on Bree really bad. You know, with Daniel Bryan retiring and all. But I like a lot of the women. I like Paige. I think she's very, very good, and they kind of brought her down. Sasha Banks is supposed to be the next big thing, so I would watch out for her. Becky Lynch is very good. I think generally in the ring they're a lot better than they used to be, and just in terms of their moveset, they're doing a lot more. They're letting them do a lot more than they used to.
And you see the storyline too. They are going bigger with storyline. They gave Naomi a nice spot with Becky Lynch, and you see they are trying to incorporate the veteran divas with the new divas that are here. I just got a feeling, is it going to hit a plateau, Sam? It's crashed down? Or it's just going to go up and up, and it's going to stay up? Are we going to see?
I think it's going to go up and up and step. I heard a recent rumor now. I don't know. I'm sure you guys know who I'm talking about, but there's a certain woman who just got released from TNA. Her name is Awesome Kong, and she used to be known as Karma in WWE for her short time. I heard she may be on the way back, and I think that would be a really, really good addition. She was she's an animal, and she can hang with the guys in the ring, and that's not a lot to. You can't say that for a lot of the women.
I know exactly what you're talking about, Sam, and she is an animal. I had a feeling they're building that with Nia Jax down at NXT, The Rock's cousin. She's a big beast of a woman, but she can actually wrestle. She knows what she's doing. She got a pretty face. I give her that.
She got a pretty face.
Yeah, she does. She got a pretty face.
Absolutely.
But every diva in WWE, guys, is they're a twig, and Nia Jax and Awesome Kong, like Sam said, they're bigger women, and They could bring more to the table as well. It's not all pretty looks. If you got a big girl, it's you want to. Of course, they're going to beat the little girls up if you know what you're doing. But
I'm sorry.
I think Charlotte's fantastic as well. You said I think Ric Flair's fantastic. He's the only guy that could come down as a manager, and you just love him. You start wooing the whole time. And Charlotte goes really deep into her promos. It's very unlike even that male WWE wrestlers don't do. I mean, she brings up family debt, for God's sakes. She talks about retirement. Daniel Bryan retired last week, for God's sakes. And Charlotte's going toe-to-toes with storyline with this. It's unheard of. It's unseen before from the diva side.
It's great. You know what? It's great. No, it's great because it's it's the truth. It's real. The fact is that they're Brie and Daniel Bryan are married and they're going through a rough time. He's doing something he loves for 15 years. All of a sudden he has to stop, and she made Brie feel pretty bad about that. I got to say.
I mean, I hate to laugh because it's just like Charlotte just went totally after it. I was very shocked, like a holy shit moment. Completely. And she's doing that a lot with the storylines. I'm shocked WWE's really going there for being a PG show. I'm really stunned. We have two divas on the Fastlane card this week at this pay-per-view, which is crazy. But I think Sasha Banks is going to win at WrestleMania. I think she's going to win about the Mania.
She is. She's got a nice look. I love the name of her move, the bank statement. I love it. I love her whole, her whole MO is very, very nice. I think she's very good in the ring. She's someone that the crowd can really get behind. She could be a top face for sure.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And you start to see, Sam, that how Triple H has his imprints on this. Sasha Banks is set up to win at WrestleMania. Kevin Owens has the IC belt now. Like all his posses, the Triple H clique down in NXT that's come up, they're all rising and they're all rising. And your boy Dolph Ziggler's just dying. What happened to your boy Dolph?
He's killing me now. I've had it. It's been 6 years. I've been with him for that long.
It's been 6 years.
It's time for me. I think I'm gonna have to jump on somebody new.
Is it his fault? Or
no, it's not his fault. It's partly his fault. There's something missing from him, but they definitely hold him back. But there is something missing, and I was, of course, one to be in denial and not admit it. But as I watch more and more, it's definitely something. His character's just stale. He does the same old thing. They don't let him really talk that much. He sounds like a generic wrestler, But we had that moment at Raw. Now that moment after WrestleMania, now I'll never forget it.
And he always talks about it too in interviews with Ziggler. The moment after WrestleMania, absolutely. But he's so much like fucking Shawn Michaels. It's a joke, and you never broke away from that, Ziggler, man. You really didn't, and you can't do the same shit you did 3 years ago. You just can't get away. Your entrance has its, same. You do the famous like Billy Gunn, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
And we have no idea what match you're wrestling at WrestleMania because you ain't winning the IC to Owens. That's not going to happen.
Not. He may not wrestle at all now. He may not wrestle at all.
And okay, that being said, we're going to go to the Brock, Roman, and Ambrose. But before we break this down, Sam, Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins. At this point in the career, I know Rollins is out with an injury, but he still counts. Who's been the bigger impact of the Shield so far for this company? And
out of the threes?
Yeah, they're all three different.
There's no doubt in my mind that Seth Rollins is going to be the best out of the three and is the best out of the three. They booked him. They didn't book him very well at all. They even though they booked him really bad for him to lose, he's a champ. He never won fair. He always had to cheat to win. I think he made real strides on the microphone and as an in-ring performer, he is second to nobody. The match he put on at the Royal Rumble, the triple threat match between him, Cena, and Brock in 2015 was incredible. I was there to see it. It was amazing. It was one of the best, if not the best, triple threat match I've ever seen. Reigns makes me nauseous, and Ambrose just isn't there yet.
I was totally surprised, Sam. I think you hit it on the nose. I miss Seth Rollins so much, and I got to shout out Richie Kelly, who's a big friend of the show and a friend of Sam and mine, because he loved Seth Rollins from the beginning, and I thought Rollins as a heel with the belt was awesome. I thought the whole angle with Sting was funny, with the statue. I thought buying J&J Security a car was fucking fantastic.
Oh, they were great.
Oh, man, it was a lot of fun with this guy Rollins, man, and he was definitely the best in the ring. But, it was kind of said that Roman Reigns was going to be the face. He was going to be the next John Cena guy. And Ambrose had like that Stone Cold Steve Austin crazy mankind to him. That's how I look at Ambrose. He never disappoints, Ambrose. It sucks that we can't put him number one over Rollins. But, Rollins is the total package.
He is the total package. Rollins, he's the guy. He's the guy that I feel like I'm gonna probably latch on to for the next couple of years because he really, really went up in my book a lot the last couple of months. Like I said, they booked him really poorly, but he got really, really good heat. I think now because of this injury, I think it'll be a blessing in disguise because when he comes back, wherever that is, whatever arena that is, the roof is going to completely blow off when he comes back, for sure.
He can't be a face, though, Sam.
You know what it is? I think, I don't know if you remember, when Triple H came back, when he tore his quad, when he came back in 2002, he was a heel when he left, and he was a face when he came back. I think it'll be the same kind of thing. I think the fans are going to cheer for him no matter what. Because the roster's so depleted, and he'll be a nice injection of talent, and like I said, a lot of just oozing with charisma. So I only think he's going to get better. I think he's going to be the next biggest star. I really do. That's my guy right there.
I think you hit it on the nose there. So Sam, I want you to give me Lesnar, Reigns, Ambrose. Who's facing Triple H come WrestleMania? Who's winning this one?
I can't see anybody but Reigns facing him now. As sad as it is to say, the way they booked the Rumble and TLC. The way they had, Reigns played like the Steve Austin role from '99. He got kicked out of the Rumble. He came back. They beat him up. It's his climb to eventually, defeat Triple H because he's had a long-term feud with him over the past year. So I don't see how they're going to book it, or unless they add someone to the match. I don't know how we're going to not see Reigns and Triple H. I happen to think that we may see Ambrose against Lesnar, and we may see Reigns against Triple H. That I think is a very good possibility.
Wow, that's a good possibility. I heard a theory that was actually kind of crazy, dude. I heard a theory that Ambrose is going to win, and he's going to verse Hunter, and Roman Reigns is going to verse The Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Wow.
Oh, wow. I didn't even think about that. And the Mondays going up to this Fastlane, where we're going to find out finally at WrestleMania, a year-long wait, who's it going to be? They're really not going after Roman Reigns at all. It's been the Dean Ambrose story 2 Mondays in a row.
Right, and he's been going head-to-head against Lesnar, and he's been doing good against Lesnar. Cutting a different kind of promo, like playing the role of not being scared of him at all, and like they hit me, give me an F5, and him getting back up. I think that they're building a chemistry towards a possible match at Mania, and I just think that Reigns is if Reigns wins at WrestleMania, I feel like people are going to throw stuff into the ring. That's how aggravated they're going to be.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him, Sam. I don't blame him. You're right. You're 100% right.
Come on, the guy's got no charisma now. He's got no charisma whatsoever.
He doesn't. He absolutely doesn't. I love this WWE talk with you. We're going to see what happens this Sunday as well. NXT, real quick. You think we're getting any call-ups?
I was just going to ask you now. I wanted to, play the role of you for a second and ask you a question. And at least give me first. Tell me if you could. Who do you think is most deserving, and who do you think actually will get called up?
Okay, good question. Most deserving, for me, Sami Zayn's not going to count. For me, I want Enzo and Big Cass up. I agree. Couldn't agree with you more. Keep going. I love them tag team. They're a bunch of Guidos, Vinny, from New Jersey, and their slogan is soft, SAWFT, and it's fucking hysterical, bro. And they're so good, and they talk, and their promo is great. They're like, and this is Big Cass, and he's 7 foot tall, and you can't teach that. They're fantastic. They'll be great with the New Day and the Usos. It's another element on top of that. They should be up, but I think we're going to see probably Samoa Joe at the WrestleMania. That's the rumor. Finn Balor will be pleading to get up soon. It'll probably be Finn and Samoa Joe. What do you think, Sam?
I couldn't agree with you more now. First of all, Enzo and Cass. Enzo has more charisma in his pinky than Roman Reigns does in his entire body, and that's unfortunately that's the truth in my opinion. They're amazing. They're going to be a great face. That music's going to hit. The crowd's going to go nuts. Enzo's amazing on the mic. They remind me of a Shawn Michaels Diesel-esque kind of team with the small guy and the big guy. Cass is great in the ring. He's got charisma as well. He's getting better and better on the mic. They got Carmella, who I think will be a great manager. They'll have something for everybody there, and I think they're great. I literally cannot wait for them to show up to the main roster. I think that'll be very soon. As for who it's going to be, I think you're right. I think Samoa Joe is definitely going to be up soon. Finn as well. I think Zayn's going to be great when he comes up. He made a cameo in the Rumble. The crowd went nuts. So I definitely agree with you on both points. I think you hit the nail on the head.
Love it, Sam. And I was thinking when Owens won the IC that it would be great to see Sami Zayn come up and wrestle him at WrestleMania, being two best friends. But I don't know if with the injury and it's too short of a storyline. That's like a 6-month storyline you could do with those two.
Absolutely, that's a Bret Hart Shawn Michaels rivalry right there.
Big time.
That's a real deep rivalry, deep rooted for very very long time in the making.
What's your take on Apollo Crews?
I've seen him a little bit. He's got something. I think that I think he's maybe a little more agile. He's a little stiff in the ring. He's got a couple of nice moves. I think charisma. I think he's a very likable guy. I think he could be like maybe like an Ahmed Johnson type perhaps, or a little bit more though. Not as stiff as in the ring as Ahmed was. But I think that he's definitely got some charisma, and I think he can make an impact on the main roster.
Yeah, I think a lot of our fans are going to agree with you. I agree with you with the Ahmed Johnson comparison. I think you hit it on the nose as well there. And NXT's great, and you got to be careful who they bring up. I mean, Bayley should be up already, but she's the face of women's wrestling down there. You can't do anything. Finn Balor should have been up a long time ago. He's a total package. There's no reason for Finn Balor to do what he's doing in NXT, not to be doing what he's doing up here. And he has an Undertaker type image as well, an entrance, and he's fantastic.
Now that entrance live, I'd have chills. I'd have to hold on to you while he comes out.
It's fantastic. And you're gonna switch gears. I love the WWE talk. We're gonna switch gears back to a little NBA, a little college basketball as well now. With Vin, we got a couple minutes left on the show. Vin, were you surprised at the NBA trade deadline? No big names move. Were you happy with the Knicks staying put?
I was absolutely shocked that no big names, because everybody was being spoken about. Like I said before, Okafor, Then they said that Paul Gasol was being shopped heavily, and Al Horford, Jeff Teague, all these guys, and nobody went. The big name was like Lance Stevenson for Jeff Green. Like, ooh, that was some trade. Like, nothing happened. The Knicks stayed pat. I mean, the Knicks really had no assets to trade at the end of the day. Who the hell wants Jose Calderon? Nobody. I mean, for $7 million next year, nobody wants him. I mean, nobody wants Kyle O'Quinn. Nobody wants these guys. They're not guys anybody that's making a run for a championship are going to want. Teams who want to make a run don't want these guys. So I don't know. I mean, I'm hearing that the Knicks might get a guy from the D League or like a Jimmer Fredette from the D League, something like that. But
buckets.
But who knows? Come on, he's not going to play in the pro game. He scores 35 from the D League. He doesn't play any defense. He plays no defense at all. This team needs defense. They can't stop anybody.
We need a lot more. We need a prayer. But we're getting closer and closer to March now. We got one shy moment coming, Vinny. I want to know what your take on the college basketball team. Who are the real contenders? Because we're talking about anyone's game, but who do you like?
It's getting real fun right now. Now, I mean, all these high teams are all losing. There's so many different number ones every other week. I mean, a team that I'm really high on next year is Oklahoma. I know they lost last night to Texas Tech, but I'm really high on Oklahoma. Yeah, I think come tournament time, they're going to be a team that can win it all. I mean, everyone knows that because of Buddy Hield, but another team that I really like come tournament time is Kentucky.
Oh, I'm glad you said that.
I love Tyler Ulis. I've fallen in love with this kid. He's the heart and soul, the point guard. He's the heart and soul of this team. He plays 38 minutes a night, 10, 11 points a night, 8 assists a game. I mean, at the college level, you can't ask for more than that. That's phenomenal. Then the kid Jamal Murray, who's just a scorer, a flat-out scorer who's starting to play. Come tournament time, they can be a scary team.
What's your take, Vinny, on Michigan State and Virginia? I feel like those teams, after the great round 2 game they had last year, and they're in the middle of the pack in the season this year.
I wasn't high on Virginia last year. I'm not high on Virginia again this year. I don't think they're a good team. I think they're come tournament time, at best, they make the Elite Eight. At best. And that's them getting very lucky, making the Elite Eight. But you said Michigan State. They can go very far because of one man and one man only. That's Denzel Valentine. He does it all. He's the Russell Westbrook of the college game, this kid. Okay. That's what he is. The Russell Westbrook of the college game. He does it all. Brings the ball up, scores, gets rebounds, gets assists. I mean, look, they played tonight. His stat line's 24, 7 rebounds, 10 assists. The team only scored 69 points. He had 24 and he had 10 assists.
I'm telling Rebecca you don't like Virginia, by the way.
I told her that last year.
Shame on you. I like Virginia this year.
They suck.
I like them this year, man.
They suck. I'll make a bet with you they don't make it past the Elite Eight.
The Elite Eight? Dude, I have to win 3 games.
They ain't making it that far.
A lot of people can't do that.
What rank are they? They're going to go into the tournament as a 2 seed. Are you kidding me?
If I make the Elite Eight, this is a win bet. But you win bets all the time with me in basketball, so I'm nervous. Because I don't
think Villanova's going far this year. They're the number 1 overall seed. I don't think they're going far this year either.
Fuck Villanova, bro.
I'm just saying.
Don't get me started with Villanova.
I'm just saying, I'm not high on Virginia.
Right,
I know
so
they have Malcolm Brogdon. I
do like Oklahoma.
Yeah, I like Oklahoma. I like Kansas a lot, too.
Michigan State, you like Kansas?
Yeah, you got to like Kansas. Perry Ellis is phenomenal.
When do we give up on the Cyclones in Iowa State and Georgia?
I was just going to say...
They're last in their conference, and I like watching them every time they're on TV.
They're a great team to watch. They have great point guard play. That kid Monte Morris is a great point guard. Commits no turnovers and gets a lot of assists. Controls the game. I just don't know where they got so bad. Georges Niang scores 18, 19 a game.
Yeah.
Jamal McKay is like the Kenneth Faried of the team. So I don't understand how the kid Nader comes up the bench and just hits threes. So I don't know where they got so bad.
All right, I'm biased, so I can't answer this. But what's your take on Duke and how far they could go?
Duke can go real far.
You think so?
They get Emil Jefferson, but they can go real far. Yes, they can.
What about without Emil? Because Matt Jones got hurt now, too.
Yes, I know.
We don't know how long he's out.
I think with Emil, they can win the national championship.
Okay.
I do, because you have Brandon Ingram, who could take over any game, and you still have Grayson Allen there to be a knockdown 3-point shooter. So at the end of the day, come tournament time, they're coached great by Coach K. He's going to have his boys ready to come out and play. You understand? And come tournament time, it's win or go home. And they can win. They're a team right now that could scratch a few wins together and can play very well.
I'm shocked, actually.
They just beat Virginia and UNC back-to-back.
I'm shocked about the other team down Tobacco Road, and that's UNC with Marcus Page and Bryce Johnson. I really thought this was going to be the year. I was ready to let them be like an 8 seed, overall a 2 seed in the tournament, and ride them out real slow. But you know what? I'm sick and fucking tired of watching Roy Williams blow games in the second half. I'm sick of watching UNC up 11, and then they're down 4, and they lose the game by 7.
That's what happened.
And last night, it was, I thought UNC was going to be -4. UNC was -7.5, went up to -8. They lost at home, completely the better team. Matt Jones gets hurt. Plumlee's in foul trouble last 12 minutes of the fucking game. We have no point guard, and we won by 1. And you look at Coach K, Vin, and this is why I love Coach K, is because look how, Okafor and Tyus last year, how they started their first games, and how much better they got when it came to March. And look at this
these
year.
guys.
Well, look at Brendan Ingram. Take Brendan Ingram the first 2 weeks of college basketball season, how he looked, what type of game he had. He raw talent, but you knew he was going to be special.
Yeah.
Luke Kennard couldn't fucking shoot to save his fucking grandmother. And now Luke Kennard steps up big 3 when he comes into the game.
I know.
That's coaching. That's why Coach K is so great. Grayson Allen's a superstar.
And at that level, coaching goes so far.
Yeah.
That's why I'm telling you, they can win the national championship. Coaching goes that far.
Yep. I'm with you. All right, well, Sam, you're still on, right?
I'm here, Beb.
All right, Sam, I know we were talking WWE NXT. I'm trying to think, what do you think of the American Alphas? We didn't even talk about them. It's Gable. And who was it? Chad Gable, and who's his partner, Sam? NXT.
What is it? It's not Dawson, is it?
No, it's not Dawson, but American Alpha. I actually like them, the tag team down in NXT. All right.
I like that. I like them. There's a couple of guys. There's a God, the other tag team. They're like the Brain Busters. They remind me of Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson. They're a knockdown, drag it out team.
Dash and Dawson.
Yeah.
Dash and Dawson.
Yeah.
Yes, they are good.
I think they're great. I think they're like, no promos. We're gonna come out and we're gonna punch you in the mouth, and that's it. And that's exactly what they do when I see them wrestle.
What about Baron Corbin? You think he'll ever make it to the WWE, the big stage?
I think he's gotten a lot better. I know he's been down in NXT for a really, really long time, and they talked about him being like maybe a wide family member or something like that. He's a very dark personality. I think he's getting better and better though. I think eventually he'll get called up. I think he could turn into something, maybe like an Adam Bomb type of guy. I don't know. I think maybe it's a bit hard for him. I don't see him being a main eventer, but I think he's definitely gotten better. He's definitely progressed, as he's been in NXT for all this long time.
I go wild inside when you drop names like Adam Bomb, Sam.
What a great name that is now. Come on.
And it's great. It's great you brought up the Wyatts. Do you think we're going to see them interfere in the triple threat?
No, they want to talk about how bad they book people. Bray is larger than life, and they can't seem to get this guy where he needs to be. I love Bray. I love the entrance. I love his personality. I love everything about him. When I look at him, I think Undertaker type. But the way they book him, it's like he's kind of doing the same old song and dance. He comes out, he says the same kind of thing. He says it well, but he says the same kind of thing. And it's upsetting to see. I think that he's got a lot of talent. I would have loved to have seen him win the Rumble. I would love to see him wrestle for a title. But I guess they're taking their time with him, which is understandable. Which they did with Cena, they did with Shawn Michaels, they did with Bret Hart, all the great wrestlers. But I think that sooner or later they got to do something drastic with him because. It's getting a little stale. Even like I said, I enjoy him very much, but it's the same old song and dance. And I want to see him with a belt on his waist, for God's sakes.
I totally agree with you. I mean, we used to have the sheet mask here on the show. We did a whole funny skit back in the day 3 years ago with him, and he his last 2 WrestleManias. Think about it, man. He versed Cena and he versed Undertaker, and this could be Brock 3, but they poorly book him. The guy never fucking wins. And, he's saying the same shit on the mic now, and it's really getting stale. He was stale this Monday, man, and he was cutting a good promo, but it was a promo we've already seen. So with that being said, that's our show for tonight. I thank you, Sam, so much for coming on.
Thank you so much, Sam.
We had a lot of fun with you.
Pleasure.
Thank you
awesome.
a lot, man.
We'll have you back on, definitely for WrestleMania. Vinny, the boss, feeling under the weather.
I feel like
I hope
shit,
you feel
guys.
better.
Thank you, Nell. You too.
And,
man.
you know, we'll see you guys next week. Gypsy, I love you. Chris Paul sucks.
Yeah,
Go
Chris
eat
Paul
your
sucks.
rotisserie chicken.
Chris Paul sucks, Gyps. Sorry.
Sorry. And have a great
Maybe he's good
weekend,
at golf,
everybody.
though, Gyps, you know? He might be good at golf.
He might be. He might be.
He lives in L.A., I mean.
Yeah, you're right.
I think he does it in his spare time.
You know who's not good at golf? Phil fucking Mickelson.
He does.
We knew that.
Fuck you, cost me money, Phil. Fuck you. All right. See you guys next week.
See you guys next
Take
week.
care.